As this is my maiden speech, I'd just like to very quickly take the opportunity to thank the people of Cavan, Monaghan and North Meath for their tremendous support for me and indeed my party colleague Matt Carthy in the general election on February 8th. And I mean, I suppose after everything that has happened, it seems a lifetime ago now, and I never envisaged it would be over 3 months before I would get to make my maiden speech, but we live in unprecedented times. I have some comments on the alternative to the Leave Cert today, and I also have a number of questions which I don't think time will allow an oral response, so I'm requesting a written response, please. I believe that replacing the standard Leave Cert with calculated grades was the most viable option in the current circumstances. The Leave Cert exam had been compromised once the school year was curtailed in mid-March, with too many inconsistencies for students going forward. In some schools, courses weren't completed, or oral and practical exams couldn't proceed, coursework couldn't be submitted. Now, I know many teachers did attempt to engage with students online, but the technology divide made this unfair, and expecting students to continue studying for over 2 months on their own was unrealistic, but then to extend that for another additional 2 months, I think, was unjust. I fully believe that teachers will be fair to their students when calculating grades, but I am relieved that teachers will do so in conjunction with their colleagues in their subject department and with school management, which I see as both a support and a safeguard for students and teachers. However, I think it's imperative that the message lobbying will disqualify will go out loud and clear, and I support the Teachers' Union who are looking for that. I don't think it's enough just to give a guideline. I want to also categorically disagree with school profiling, and I agree with my party colleague Donncha on that one, and I seriously question the need, and I urge him to reconsider that proposal. Now, I also want to ask, where a situation arises that a student isn't happy with their calculated grade and wish to sit the exam whenever that may be, how will the practical element of that subject be assessed? I mean, there are approximately 10 subjects with practical exams or coursework attached, and languages which have an oral element. And I think it would be totally unfair to allocate a result based only on the written part of the exam, especially for the more practically minded student. In relation to students who cannot be given a predicted grade, such as external students or those who have been homeschooled, or some repeat students who are possibly repeating in a different school than they originally attended, or the students who take the additional subject outside of school, such as you mentioned, music or Russian or Polish, wherever it might be. I'm just asking, what is the option open to them? Is it to sit the actual exam whenever that seems safe to do so? However, if this is their only option, I don't think it's fair to expect them to put off entering third level if that is their intention for a whole year. So can the timetable for the allocation of results be brought forward so that there is only if there are only a relatively small a number of students wishing to sit the exam, that could possibly happen safely in August? An alternative course of action either is to offer those students who wish to enter a third level course the option of sitting an aptitude test for the course they desire, and it's also an option that could be offered on oversubscribed courses. It's used for mature students entering third level, so I'm wondering, could that be considered for students in these times as well? I don't believe the Leave Cert applied course has been mentioned. The students taking this Leave Cert have already been allocated up to 2/3 of their result, with the end-of-year exams making up the last one-third of the result. So are teachers being asked to predict their grade also? Because I think they should be, as it would be the difference possibly between a distinction in merit or a merit and a pass. And finally, I'd just like to commiserate with the Leave Cert students countrywide. They've been robbed of the chance to sit an exam that they were preparing for up to 2 years. Most would have liked to sit the exam. A few might be happier with the turn of events. But they've been robbed of the final few years in school, their graduation, possibly their debts. I'm hoping those things can take place later. And I'm coming from the perspective as a teacher as well. And I believe I will be actually predicting grades too for students, I thought, up to mid-January.
Congratulations, new